Hey y'all, it's Betty. Welcome to the very first True Crime Tuesday of many. I am really excited to start this series. We're talking about some really dark things, but I am super interested in true crime. I wanted to share something like this with you guys and kind of look into stories that aren't as blown up. So just want to shine a light on how I think that everyone should be living as freely and happy as possible, but always keep in the back of your mind that there are just evil people in the world that are looking to harm other people, sometimes for no reason in particular. And today it really shows with this first story that we're talking about. It's the story on Carla Stefaniak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, so her last name correctly at least. So if I'm not, I really do apologize. It's not my intention to bash her last name. Carla was a very happy soul. She was a 36-year-old Floridian, and everyone has nothing but incredible things to say about her, stating that she was so happy and that she loved being on social media and just really loved making people laugh. She went out to Costa Rica for her birthday, actually to celebrate her 36th birthday, which would have been November 28th of 2018. She went out there with her sister-in-law and they celebrated for a whole week, but her sister-in-law left a day prior to Carla. So Carla stayed out there for one additional night on her own. According to a few articles that I read, she accompanied her sister-in-law to the airport to drop her off, and then she told her Uber driver to take her through a tour of San Jose out in Costa Rica, which he claims he did, and he dropped her off back at her Airbnb at 5 p.m. Her family had been hearing back and forth from her for a little while, but they stopped hearing from her around 8 p.m. on the 27th. The last message that they received from her, or one of the last messages that they received from her, stating that it was storming really bad out there, it was raining, and that the lights went out. She also mentioned in her text saying that it was super sketchy that the lights went out.
Text from his sister last Tuesday before her phone died. Stefaniak texting that she was too tired to go out and it's raining hard. Power went off. Super sketchy.
And that would have been the last time that they heard from her. After the investigation happened, they did find that she had scheduled an Uber at 8 a.m. the next morning. She was supposed to go shopping, and then she was supposed to be taken to the airport to fly back to Florida with her family. However, she never made it to her Uber. She never made it to the airport. Her family ended up reporting her to the Costa Rican authorities on November the 28th when they weren't receiving any responses from her, and they waited until 1 p.m. to see if she ever checked in onto her flight online, and they found that she never did. So they did report her, and that's when the investigation started, and dogs were able to find her remains about 300 yards away from the Airbnb where she was staying, which the Airbnb was Villa Lemas, or Villas Lemas, which is now removed from the Airbnb website. Once the body was found, they questioned the security guard, whose name was Brismeric Espinoza Martinez. He was a Nicaraguan immigrant who actually did not have legal documentation to be working in Costa Rica. Costa Rica's judicial department has commented saying that he had a irregular migration condition, meaning that he was someone that was constantly moving, so it was kind of hard to follow along with where he has been and the things that he has done. But they are currently investigating him. They don't believe that he worked alone on the murder of Carla, unfortunately. They do feel like it was sexually motivated. They do feel like he purposely had gone in there to sexually assault her, and it ended up in murder because she defended herself, which is really just awful and terrifying to think about. When they found her, they found that she had died due to lacerations on her neck and on her body, like on her arms, showing that she put up a fight. She did also have blunt force trauma on her head when they did the autopsy and all of that. Unfortunately, I was not able to find who was officially convicted of the crime. It looks like it's still under investigation, so I will be doing an update video once they do finally convict someone for Carla's murder. It's truly a sad story, but it honestly opens up your eyes to see that even when you think you're safe in a place like an Airbnb where many people have gone and come back from before, it's so important for us to take into consideration that there are awful people in the world that are just waiting to do awful things and willing to hurt people just for their own gain. So always take care, always take the proper precautions, and obviously things are out of your control. This man had keys to every apartment in that little complex, so she had absolutely no control over letting him in or out of the house or anything of that nature. But if you're traveling alone, just try to take all the proper precautions. I've thought so much about traveling alone, so I'm going to link down below some items that I found on Amazon that would be really safe for you traveling alone, that you would have control over, as far as like those door stoppers that you can put on there. So like even if someone does have the key to a place or can like unlock the door, the stopper won't let them in. So there are proper precautions that you can take if you are traveling alone. I really hope you guys enjoy watching these videos. If you guys are into true crime like I am, and like I said, there is always something to learn out of situations like these, and I'll be doing my best to always think about things outside the box when it comes to these cases, to kind of throw at you and make sure that we are all being safe. Stay safe, stay precautious, try not to travel alone, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.